The most famous image of SCP-044 does not show a shell. It shows a full diesel pickup truck being fed into the muzzle of a World War II cannon, built to break matter apart. That image becomes stranger once its scale is clear. SCP-044's muzzle is large enough to accept an entire pickup truck as ammunition. When SCP-044 fires, everything in the barrel leaves as a glowing red slug. The projectile scales to the loaded mass and looks nothing like conventional artillery. The slug does not remain a solid projectile for long. On impact, it converts loaded matter into explosive yield at a classified mass-to-energy rate. SCP-044 was secretly manufactured in the late stages of the Second World War. Even as defeat closed in, resources were still committed to building this weapon.
The builders were Krupp engineers, and the project was personally supervised by Albert Speer. SCP-044 belongs to the highest levels of the Nazi armaments system. Its scale alone would make SCP-044 extraordinary. At 2151 metric tons, the weapon reads less like artillery and more like industrial infrastructure built into a gun.
Because of that mass, SCP-044 has to remain rail-mounted. Moving it requires 2 freight locomotives, turning every relocation into a transport problem of its own. SCP-S44 does not load through a breech at all. The rear of the barrel is a massive air compression chamber, and the muzzle becomes the loading point. That design rewrites ammunition altogether. Any object or any pile of objects can be loaded into SCP-044 if it fits.
Researchers believe SCP-044 weakens molecular and atomic bonds in whatever it is about to fire. The effect is visible in results, even if the mechanism is not.
The problem is not a lack of machinery. SCP-044 is full of complex internal systems whose combined function
Some of the internal parts seem useless, yet they continue to spin or make noise even when SCP-044 has no power. The weapon behaves as if some part of it refuses to go dormant. Trying to learn more from inside SCP-044 has already cost the Foundation people and equipment. Even inspection becomes dangerous once it enters the barrel. SCP-044 is dangerous even while idle. A constant stream of hydrogen ions, unbound oxygen atoms, and other trace-free radicals leaves the muzzle at all times.
That constant outflow dictates the room around the gun. SCP-044's docking stations must stay well ventilated so dangerous gas and moisture cannot accumulate.
The muzzle stays covered for a reason that sounds mundane until its consequences are considered. Birds and small animals must be kept from wandering into the barrel. If SCP-044 is fired, the blast tracks the original loaded mass. The article also notes that yield rises somewhat if the glowing slug remains longer inside the barrel. The greatest known yield came from one extraordinary test. The administrator's 8,900 kilogram diesel pickup truck remains the clearest recorded upper reference for SCP-044. After 258-80258 years in Foundation custody without significant incidents, SCP-044 was reclassified safe. An O5 note says the bear incident does not count, but the object still remains a rail-bound mass-to-energy weapon whose venting barrel, firing yield, and internal mechanism demand constant procedural control.